Hi Rosebuds! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you are new here. I'm Rachel, I'm the owner of Rose Manifestations. We're currently in my studio space, and if you watched the last video and you're like, Rachel, you're wearing the same outfit, then you obviously don't remember the outro because I said I was about to start something, alright? We're gonna try out a new wax. I'm excited. So this is the CandleScience Simply Soy Artesian Wax. I've heard people talk mixed signals on it, basically, just looking on CandleScience's website and at their reviews. So I'm excited to try it. Mainly why I want to change my wax is currently I use 3 different types of wax that I blend myself. 2 different types of soy waxes to make 90% of the formula and a 10% paraffin, and that's only one type of paraffin, obviously. I want to try to go completely 100% soy wax and hopefully only using one type of wax. I am going to test a wax melt with this wax. I don't know if that's going to work. There is another type of wax that is literally purely for wax melts pretty much, and it can hold a higher fragrance load. So we're going to try that one as well. But I will test this just for shits and giggles. Why not? This April, May, might have been May, I will have been making candles and wax melts for 4 years. Anywho, let's get into it. Okay, so specifically for this, for testing new waxes, I got this little wax melter off of Amazon. I do want to set up a Amazon affiliate link, so if I have that by the time this video comes out, I will put it in the description. If I don't have that, I will say that here on screen right now. I wish this cord was longer, but that's fine. It had good reviews, so I'm excited. I already threw away the box, so if it doesn't work, I'm screwed, but oh well. Not that deep, but that's fine. I think it should fit this 1 pound pretty easily. Instructions, I don't need that. I better grab that twist tie though. Alright. I'm gonna wipe it out real quick. Okay. Well. $2.50. Okay, let's bump it down to $185. This says heat to 180. Actually, I'm gonna pull up that CandleScience review because somebody said exactly what she did, and I want to do that. But maybe I should start by pouring this in since it's heating up. Damn, this puppy heats fast. She's already hot. Okay, so while that is melting, let me read that lady's review again. So it has 4 stars. Okay, she heated to about 200 degrees, so I'm gonna bump this up then. I'm gonna do 195, just for shits and giggles again. I'm going to start by making only 1 candle and 1 wax melt. So she heated her wax to about 200 degrees, added fragrance at 180 for a 2-minute stir, poured at 138. My candles were basically visibly perfect. Okay, well, let's try all this. So I'm going to test with the wicks that I already use first. So specifically with this vessel and my current wax I've been using, I use a CD18 wick. For the Simply Soy Artesian wax, it is recommended to use CD or LX wicks. And those normally determine on what types of wax they're burning with and how hot the wick needs to get. And I didn't put a warning label on since it's my own. So one thing with trying new wax is that the density and therefore the weight can sometimes be different. I'm going to just do what I normally have for my current wax, but it could be different. Okay, got a little extra in there, but that's fine. It's better to have extra than not enough. Oh my god, that wax is almost fully melted. Okay, there's that. Then I will need to measure out the wax. Okay, our wax is up to temp, so I'm going to turn it off and unplug it. Take this lid off. And I needed 11.98 wax. Okay, that was a little over, but that's okay. Okay, currently we are at 194, 193-ish. So I'm gonna wait this, again, this person waited till 180. So let me, why do I not have anything to write with? Love myself for that. Ha. Heated to 201. FO in at. It is slightly cloudier than what I currently use, but that could also just be because I add some paraffin wax in there. But still giving a very similar color. Okay, we're at 180. And we're gonna stir for 2 minutes. It's 11:51 right now. Okay, we just hit 2 minutes. I'm gonna stir just for a little bit longer just to make sure everything is binded really well. And then I will stop and then just periodically go and stir it to make sure everything is staying well combined. But if you're wondering why you stir for 2 minutes, you want to stir for 2 minutes after putting in your fragrance oil to help the wax and the fragrance oil completely combined. By 150 degrees, they should be completely combined together. That's why you don't want to go too low of pouring in your fragrance oil, because you might deal with problems of it not completely adhering to each other and chemically bonding. It's funny how I dropped out of school, but yet I use math and science all day, every day. Okay. I'm going to leave it for a second. I always, after stirring, I always leave it for just a second before temping it because it can give you a wrong reading. So I'm going to leave that alone for a minute, and I will see you guys again soon when we're ready to pour. Okay, so it seems it's a little bit more, I guess airy is what I would kind of call it, because filling the wax melt and the candle looks a little bit more than I normally would. But that's okay, it's just for me. I don't need to put a lid on it. Okay, so now all that I'm going to do is I'm going to let them cool. I will heat gun them and get any air bubbles out of the candle if need be. Normally I do it anyway, even if I can't see anything, because you never know what's below the surface. But after that, technically on CandleScience's website, it says that they only need to cure for 2 days. Normally soy wax cures for 2 weeks. So with that, what would be really nice about this wax, if it really does well and I like it better than my current wax, is I make a lot of my candles besides our crystal candles to order, and half the time I will give somebody, if they order, and I do have to make it to order, where are they at? I give them a card that says, for the best experience, burn your candle 2 weeks after it's been poured and your candle was poured on, and same thing for your wax melts. But if it's something like this that it only needs, technically speaking, 2 days to cure, then I don't have to worry about it, because half the time most people aren't getting their order within 2 days. So I don't know, I'm excited. Again, that review that I was going off of, she said she let them cure for 4 days. So I'm going to test it with 4 days. But we'll see. So I will see you guys in roughly 4 days. Alright. Don't mind how rough I look. I also need to oil my scalp because she's dry. But this has been sitting since Wednesday. It's currently Sunday. Quote there was really good. I can smell it pretty well. And I got a dog in here. I'm going to light it and kind of do like hourly check-ins. So it's 11:08, so I'll see you soon. So we're just over an hour in. The melt pool is decent. We already have some curling of the wick, and there hasn't been a lot of fragrance release, so this probably will not be a good test. I can already say right now when it's been an hour, and I can very faintly smell it. But let's see how another hour goes. Okay, so we are now 4 hours in, so I'm going to blow this out. First thing I'm going to note is how the melt pool does not go fully to the edge, and the melt pool is decently deep. Now, luckily, the wick did well of not mushrooming. Mushrooming is kind of when it like poofs out at the tip, which it doesn't do a lot of, but it is curling, which is normal. But beyond that, a lot of scent has not came out of the candle. It has been very slight. I don't know what other word I should use for that. But overall, this was not a good burn test. I'm going to blow it out since we've reached the end of our 4 hours and wait a couple more days, try again. But most likely overall, I need to use a bigger wick. And I have, so these are CD18s is what's in here. I have CD22s, but I don't have CD20s. And I have a feeling because just this little bit of wax that didn't fully melt, it will probably be a CD20, so I need to order those. But I will see you guys in a couple days and we'll try again. I'm using my front camera, so sorry if this is a little bad quality, but I wanted to kind of do the outro because a wrench was thrown in our plans. Hold on, that was hurting how I'm holding my camera or my phone. It's not a camera. Anyhow. So, CandleScience put out an email today basically stating that some things are discontinuing and retiring. Luckily, none of my fragrance oils are a part of that, but the gray tumblers are a part of that. And so I was looking at alternatives today, trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. So I have made a decision on what I am doing and kind of figured out some different things. It sucks because where I'm going to buy my new vessels from is going to be Makesy, and I literally just placed a Mixie order, which sucks. So I'll have to place, and it's already like packaged up and is like in possession of FedEx. So, whatever. So I'm gonna order these other vessels. Luckily, so what I ordered from Mixie that's already on its way is those vessels, just in a different color because it's the spring collection. The wooden wicks that I'm pretty positive are going to be the perfect size for that vessel. But I guess the part that's really nice about this is these vessels that I'm using for the spring collection, that's now going to be the new gray candles. I don't think I said anything about what the gray candles were going to transition and what the collection will be called, and I kind of want to keep that to myself if I did not say it, because I don't think I did. But anyhow, so that will be transitioned, and then there is another collection that hopefully I will come out at the end of this, like towards the end of this year. It'll really just depend. But that will also be these same type of vessels, again, just a different color. So I guess it works out pretty well, because that means that the only thing that I'm changing between them is obviously the color of the vessels, but also just the fragrances going in them. So like the actual testing part itself is pretty much done. It's just testing the scents. But it sucks because it's also like I kind of wasted that wax to create that candle, and like already I could tell obviously from earlier in this video that the wick was not going to work for that vessel, but it just kind of sucks even more because I'm like, that entire test was now unimportant. But anyhow, it's okay. Luckily I didn't place that other CandleScience order that had more of my vessels and new wicks. So I am thankful for that. But no, so I think the new candles will be, technically they're going to be glass, but they're going to have a matte coating to them. And just because I love those and how they look, I need to kind of brainstorm of what I want the labels to look like, because at the moment I have no clue. So yeah, and probably wooden wicks, just because I love the look of them, and plus they burn slower. But anyhow, that's about it. I'm still obviously going to post this video, because beyond that I don't have another video to post. And I do think that this was all useful anyway. It's still content. Just kind of sucks of where we are at. Right? Alright. But sometimes this happens, and that's okay. I don't know when the vessels are going to be like completely sold out. It's kind of like as supplies last kind of thing. But I'm gonna try not to buy any more. I still have like maybe 9 or 10, I want to say 9 vessels left, and so I'm kind of just gonna work with what I have, because I don't sell candles often. Hopefully like I have these next ones tested and figured out in a decent amount of time. But yeah, anyhow, I guess the like rebranding of these vessels that I was gonna do is just now a complete anyhow, it just kind of stresses me more because it means it's more money that I'm spending, but it's okay. It's all gonna work out. I believe that, and that's all that matters. Anyhow, if you watched to the end of this video, say hi. Give it a like. I don't know. Subscribe if you like me, because you should. Why not? Anyhow, I will see you for probably another round of testing. Much love.